Hello, teacher. Good afternoon.
Hi, Daniel. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing also quite good. Thanks for asking. Let me share my screen. 1 second, please. Should we wait a little bit for Larissa? What do you think?
Yes, she said that she will join us in 3 minutes.
All right. Okay, maybe we can start with this exercise. So maybe you can share it, please. We're
Okay.
going to talk a little bit about yesterday's topic, simple present, past continuous, and we're going to see a couple of new words. So thank you very much. You have the permission. Yes. So we have to choose if how the verb goes. Continuous, past. What do you think?
Okay. Barking. What? What is that word? What is the
Bark.
meaning?
It's well, ladrar. I don't know how to explain, but yes.
Ladrar.
Barking.
Okay.
Great. Excellent. That's the next. So remember, sometimes we have tenses together and one interrupts the other one, right?
Fairies.
Like hadas, fairies.
Okay.
You know, fairy tales. It's
I,
related to maybe these imaginary stories.
I remember the the show for kids, Padrino Mágico.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that fairy.
Yeah, that is the same word.
We're dancing the elves. I don't know what it's elves.
Elves is similar. This imaginary is like I believe it's duendes, elves.
Oh,
So fairies and elves. Hadas and excellent. Oh, I think Larissa is here. Yes, yes. Hi, Larissa. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Great. Okay, thanks for joining us. Maybe you can help us with this next exercise.
Okay.
Turn on your camera, please.
Lily and James were swimming
Right.
when their dad called them.
All right. Sounds good. Great.
the baby birds was feeding while their mother feed them.
Okay. The baby birds, but remember it's plural. That sounds correct?
No, but
Because it's plural, right? What other word can we put there?
maybe that.
Okay, let's read it. Sometimes when we hear, we realize if it's correct or not.
The baby birds tweeted while their mother was feeding them.
What do you think? Thank you, Liz. Yes.
The lion
Roar is the sound that the lion makes, no? Over here.
Starting
That's
when while the people scream.
It's correct.
If it's continuous, it's missing the verb be, no? But we don't have verb be.
The lion roared.
Maybe better, no? Let's check. Yes, it happened while they were doing something else. Thank you. Next one, please.
While the troll swung its club, the wizard was casting a spell. What is swung?
Is past tense of swim, no? Swan, or continuous, I guess.
Okay.
Now, when or why? This is today's topic, by the way.
The fairy brought me money while I was sleeping.
Right? Let's see. Great. And finally, excellent. All right. So it really depends on the context. We have to kind of like imagine on the situation, but basically when we have, and let me share the presentation, when we have one activity in progress, no, the other, we can have a second event that is going to interrupt, no? But let's take a look a little bit of this. So this topic is called past tense sequences because when we want to describe different things that are happening, there are words that we can use in present and in past. Obviously, in past tense, we are seeing two different tenses, right? Continuous and simple. But this is a regular way to describe things that happens in present, no? So I think we mentioned this one time while you were doing maybe a top story, no? So these are some words that describe order, right? First, no? We can start any sentence or sequence with first, and then we can use words such as then, next, after, and then maybe finally to conclude maybe an idea or a topic, no? So maybe Larissa, could you read this? This little paragraph, please, from here until here.
Fierce Kate forgot her briefcase and had to go back to the hotel. Then she missed her flight and she had to wait for the next flight. After that, she got on another flight and she sat next to a lady who talked a lot. Finally, she landed, but her bag wasn't at the baggage claim.
Excellent. So when we are using these sequence words or connectors, they have many different names, or linking words. Here we can combine the verbs, no? But usually if we're describing something that happened already, the verbs have to be in simple past, just simple past, no? Because we're describing something that happened, but it's just to describe something that maybe already happened. If we want to describe something that was happening and then something else happened, then any of these words help us. When we have something in, we want to describe that something interrupt that, we use when to introduce this second event, not that just interrupting this thing or event that was happening, right? This is, obviously, this is a great way to describe something that happened. However, these words, they're talking about a sequence, no? First, then, after, final, for example, no? And because we're describing something that already happened, not most of the time, this is going to be in past tense, or it could be combined with other tenses, right? But if we're describing something in the past, which was in progress, we have to use when. That's the only word that helps us to introduce this second event. We already seen this, now we remember. So maybe, and sorry for the noise. Daniel, could you read these first two examples, please?
Kate was calling the office when Sam arrived at the airport. Kate was running through the airport when she lost her shoe.
Thank you very much. So sorry for the noise again. This was in progress, and we need to put when to introduce this second event, which is interrupting. Now we're going to see a little bit more how this order can change. Okay, it's not always continuous and then past simple, no? Or this exact order. It could change. The order can change, no? But basically, when is introducing the simple past action, which could go at the beginning or at the end. It doesn't have to be always in the same order, right? So, any questions so far?
No, teacher.
Great. So, in this example, no, first we're talking about something that was in progress, and then when we have when, this when is going to introduce the second event, also in the past. However, when is used with continuous, it's with simple past. It's introducing the simple past action, all right? Sorry guys, it's raining really bad here. You might hear, but so sorry for that. I'm gonna try to mute my microphone. All right, so basically this could be used, no, with these linking words that I show first. However, this is not how we talk. No, it's too formal. So maybe Larissa, could you read these two examples, please?
Kate was calling the office when Sam arrived at the airport. Kate was running through the airport when she lost her shoe.
Yes, thank you. This is the same, no? It's the same as the first. Sorry, I meant these last two. Thank you.
First, Kate was calling the office. Then Sam arrived at the airport. First, Kate was running. Then she lost her shoe.
Yes. So it's basically saying that this was happening first, and then this second thing happened, no? But obviously, this is correct, maybe, but it's not. It doesn't sound correct while we're speaking. No, it's too formal. So this is more maybe. It's more used when we have informal conversation or interaction with someone. All right. So let's see the next one. Okay. Let's see the next example. Okay, in this example, we are using when first. So it doesn't matter, no, what's really happening, no, but usually when we want to talk about two things that happened in the past, when help us to maybe introduce this thing that happened, and then we can describe something else, all right? When help us to describe many events that happened in the past, which will be past, just past simple or past with past continuous, all right? Could Larissa be Kate and Daniel Anna, please? Oh, Anne, thank you.
I forgot my briefcase. I had to go back to the hotel.
Okay.
So here, no, the tense, it's the same. So we can use when also to describe two events that happen in the past. Forgot is past tense, no? Had, past. So both events are in past tense. None of them is in continuous, right? But I'm describing two things that happen in the past, right? And it's talking about events. Not happened this, and then when I forgot my briefcase, I had to go back. No, it's just saying this happened, and then this something else happened. No, is it clear this part, guys?
It's clear, but for me, it's, I don't know. We have to practice.
Yeah, no worries. Yes, I know it could be a little bit confusing, but just not to understand a little bit of this word when, it's a word that helps us to describe maybe more than one event that happened in the past. It could be two events that happened, maybe one happened and then another thing happened after, which both of events will be in past simple. For example, I had to, no, when I got to the airport, I brought, I don't know, a coffee. No, so I'm describing happy. When this happened, something else happened. No, in the order usually when it's the thing that maybe is interrupting another event that was happening first or second, or it could introduce a first event. No, or it could be like the previous example. When this was happening, then something else. No, both of situations is to describe two events that happened in the past. No, but we're going to practice in a second. You will understand a little bit more. But it's basically, no, this happened first, and then this something else happened, but both events already happened in the past, right?
Okay.
All right. So let's see the next. Let me do this. Okay. So when we use when, like I mentioned, it doesn't have always to go in certain order. It's not like if I'm using continuous, first goes this and then past simple. No, the order can change. As in the previous example, when can go at the beginning or it can go at the end. So maybe Larissa, could you read these two examples, please?
When I forgot my briefcase, I had to go back to the hotel. I had to go back to the hotel when I forgot my briefcase.
So basically here is mentioning two things that happen, right? When this happened, this something else happened, not two events that are linked, no? That it happened maybe close to each other, right? However, the only difference between the order is that when you put when first and you're describing the first event that happened in the past, you have to divide or separate that first event with the second with a comma, no? However, if you're describing the events in a different order, you don't need to, if when, which is separating the two events, right? In the past, you don't have to put anything. No, you don't need to put that comma. Just when goes at the beginning, while we are writing, obviously, you have to put that comma here. It's like, for example, when you go first, you have to put a comma. No, it's just like that. That's the rule. Is the same. Or finally, same thing. Anytime you use a connection word, this could be considered a connection word because it's connecting two events, right? Finally, or maybe for instance, no? Anything that is connecting one idea to another, it comes with a comma when it's at the beginning of the sentence. But when you use this, maybe when, no? When or while in the middle of the sentence, you don't need to put the comma. This first, finally, for instance, the rule is still the same because usually, for example, first, I had to buy something, then period, right? And then you go then. That's how it is in English. No? You put an idea and then you close the idea with a period. And then you continue with a linking word. No? Then, blah, 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 period. And then finally, same thing. Finally, comma, blah, 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 period. No? Usually English have to be very specific because we need a subject, right? So basically a sentence is going to describe maybe an idea, subject, verb, maybe the complement, and that's all, right? If we want to connect that with another idea, there are many rules, but basically every time we introduce a sentence or an idea connected with the previous, we use connectors, no? And is a connector, no? But otherwise, however, not all these words help us too. Well, I'm describing this, sorry guys, because we're going to write the story in a little bit. So in case that you have some doubts while you're writing, no? Okay, so, right. So let's practice that. And because when is quite easy, we're going to see the difference with while. Okay, while is the easiest one because it's describing things that happen at the same time. Every time we use while, we have idea number one, and then while idea number two, it means that both things happen at the same time. All right, so you're going to recognize it in a second. All right, so let's see. We're going to see the difference between what we just learned, when, and while, which is a complement. No, it's the same type of word, but the use is a little bit different. Okay, so please join me here. Sorry. Okay, let's start. All right, let's take a look. What do you think? Is it when or what? Great. So basically here, two things were happening at the same time. That's why we use while. All right. Daniel, could you read it, please?
I was doing my homework while my parents were watching TV.
Excellent. Give me just 1 second, guys. I'm going to share the audio because there is a little bit of noise here. All right, let's continue. Great job. Next one. What do you think? These ones? Great, excellent. Larissa, could you read it, please?
When I broke the vase, I felt sorry.
Great. So a vase is somewhere where you usually put maybe flowers, right? A vase. Okay, great, guys. Let's see the next one. Okay, Moses. When or why? All right, great. Daniel, could you read it, please?
Moses was waiting for somebody when I saw him.
Excellent. When I saw him, here, this is interrupting, right? What was happening before? What about here? All right, great. Larissa, could you read that, please?
We were having breakfast when the school bus came.
Excellent. When the school bus came.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, guys. Next one. Great. Very good, guys. Daniel, could you read it, please?
While my father was cutting the trees, my mother was cooking.
Excellent. Again, two things happening at the same time, right? That's why. Okay, next one. Okay, let's check it. Great, very good. Larissa, could you read it, please?
I washed my face while my brother was brushing his teeth.
Great, very good. Great job, guys. If there is any word that you don't understand, please let me know. All right, next one. What do you think? Number one. Great. Excellent. Daniel, could you read that, please?
While Sarah was knitting, her grandchildren were watching TV.
Knitting. No? Knitting. The hair? Yes.
Okay, knitting.
Yes. Great. All right, guys, you're doing very good. Next one. Oh, sorry. This is they. This is a question. So, all right, very good. Larissa, will you read it, please?
What were they doing when you called them?
Excellent. Same thing, we can also use when for question to link to things. No? Okay, what about here? Great, very good, guys. Daniel, will you read the sentence, please?
While I was making a cake, my husband was washing the dishes.
Excellent, great job. Very good. Next. Great, very good. Larissa,
Mike was sleeping when I opened the door.
great, very good. Great, pretty good. Daniel, could you read it, please?
Well, while I was swimming, my friends were playing volleyball.
Great, very good. Again, two things that were happening at the same time. All right, very good. Larissa, could you read it, please?
When Ali called me, I was taking a shower.
She called. She called you. Great. Next one. Right. Very good. Daniel, can you read it, please?
My mother was drinking tea when I came home.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Again, if there is any word or any question, sorry, wait. All right, very good. Larissa, could you read it, please?
Our teacher was writing something on the board,
Mhm.
and when somebody knocked on the door. Knocked on the door.
Excellent. The E is not pronounced in this. Very good. All right, guys. Do we understand all the words? Knocked or knocking is like knocking the door. The board is where we usually write with a marker.
Sure.
All right.
On the previous exercise, I didn't understand a lot of words.
Oh, do you remember any of them?
The fairies and other ones.
Maybe I can find it. Larissa, could you read it, please?
What were you doing when I called you?
Great, very good. I think there was one word which was a spell, which is like I forgot the word, but is related with this. There are some games that people play where they maybe. I think there was curse too. Curse. If I'm not wrong, do you remember curse?
No, I don't remember.
Well, I remember curse, by the way, when you curse someone is like maldecir, for example. A spell, it was because they were talking about fairy tales, and the other thing was
I remember a spell like, I remember that from Harry Potter.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I don't remember how to say the word in Spanish, but
Like,
it's something magical, no?
yes. And boost or boost, like zumbido. Ahorita lo busqué. Esa es una de las que tenía.
Like that?
No, boost. Boosted.
Bust. Ah, yeah. Bust or busted?
With this one. Let me send to the chat.
Oh, bust. Bust is related with maybe shake, bust. At some point there was, if you were, well, I don't think you were old enough, but we have Messenger years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the bust? Shake. the little window, the chat window. So it's vast. It could be anything related with movement. But the whole topic was about spells and fairy tales. It's like these games that people, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there are little cards and you start to create this imaginary world, and then you are like, you could be anything, any creature, and then you start to try to attack your opponent, and it's like in this imaginary world with fairy tales and all these type of monsters. I don't know how to call them. But it was, yes, related with magic, like you said, Harry Potter. Very familiarized with it, but yes, if we can find it, if I can find it later, I'll let you know. Thank you very much. Next one. And I think we have a couple left. Yes. Same thing, guys. When or why? All right, very good. Larissa, could you read it, please?
When I saw her, she was having dinner with her boyfriend.
All right, very good. When this is interrupting, no? When she saw her, she was having. So it means that she was having first, and then when they saw it, it's like interrupting, no? Okay, negative. All right, very good. Daniel, please read this one, please.
I wasn't waiting for her when she came in.
Okay, great. When she came in. Finally, winner one. All right, great. So, Larissa, could you read the last one, please?
We were ice skating when Sam broke his leg.
Very good. So I think you understood quite good, guys, how to connect these different events in the past. And we're gonna try to practice and put all of this week's topic in a little story. So great job, Larissa, you're first. Awesome. Let me share this next exercise. It's okay. I think we practiced stories a couple of times before. And yes, so today we're gonna try to write an imaginary story about a group of sisters and a group of brothers, right? You can write about anything that you can imagine, and the link is on the chat. But the only rule is that obviously we're going to describe something in the past. We have to use simple past and past continuous, and also when and why. Because we're talking about two groups, we can compare, right? So maybe when this was happening for the sisters, or I don't know, the brothers were doing something else. No, so it's a very easy topic to use this past tense. And if you remember, when we describe something, it should have like an introduction. It's not a story, but we have to introduce the story, no? Then it's called the body. When we write something that it could be interesting, it's called a twist, because it could be something happy, something sad, something strange that happened, no? And then the end is like a conclusion, no? And there you can have a sad ending, a happy ending, no? So that. So we are going to create a little story, and at the end, please give it a name of this to the story. And that will be it, guys. Maybe we can work on this for 10, 15 minutes tops. Obviously, if you have any questions, please let me know. The point here, or the goal here, is to use when and while as many times as you can. All right? So any questions, guys?
No, teacher.
All right, great. Thank you very much. So maybe 10, 15 minutes tops, then we're going to read our stories, we're going to share and talk a little bit about it, and then we will have maybe a last exercise, and that will be it for today's class, okay? So you can, to be more comfortable, you can turn off your microphones. I'll be checking this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and let me know if you have any questions, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, guys. Did you finish, or maybe you need a little bit more time? What do you say? Or maybe you need a little bit more, maybe 5 minutes.
Yes, teacher, please.
Okay, that's fine. All right, thank you. Okay, guys. I think we're done, right? Larissa?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thanks. Maybe we can start with you. A couple of words that I would like to fix. This should be relaxing because
Okay.
driving thing situation. They had gone to the city. They're talking about a specific city, the older sister. Okay. Yes, we need a comma because you're adding more information. So because the sentence could go and cook the dinner, no? Or and, comma, the older sister, comma, cook the dinner. Because you're adding more information. That's why we need the commas. They spent a nice night, but they felt a little sad. They spent. If you want to use this verb, you will have to describe maybe the place or where was it. No, they spent the night in this hotel or la la la. But if you're just saying no, they had, no, pasaron simplemente, it should be had, no. What do you think it is? It's important to describe the place, or maybe it was just past, not that they had a nice night.
Es like ellas tuvieron, ¿no?
Okay, yes.
Pasaron.
It's happened. Yes. Because spend, if the verb spend it's used to describe the location of a place. So they spend a night in a hotel, or they spend some time at the, I don't know, the pool, no? Is to mention maybe a period of time or maybe a location. And they had is simpler. It's not necessarily that complex. No, they just had a nice night, which is the correct verb. Okay, thank you very much. Could you read your story, please? Thank you.
The Easter holiday last Christmas, and Leah and Mia went on a trip to Brazil to visit their family. They thought it will be a relaxing trip, but it was a different trip for them. When they arrived at their grandparents' house, there was no one. They wanted to come as a surprise, but their grandparents had gone to the sea. They had to spend Christmas just day 3. And the old sister cooked the dinner while Leah and Mia decorate the house. They had a nice night, but they feel a little sad. The next day, their grandparents arrived, and in the end, they enjoyed some day together.
All right, great. Just a couple of things. The use of when. I'm not sure where is. Do you have a while or? I'm trying to find.
That part, how I say, solo ellas tres, o cómo se podría decir.
Oh, okay, yes. They had to spend the Christmas, just the 3 of them should be. Just the 3 of them, and maybe describe who, no?
Okay.
They had to spend with Christmas just with just the 3 of them. Yeah, I guess that sounds correct. They wanted to come as a surprise. They wanted to get there to the house as a surprise, no?
Yes,
They wanted
yeah.
they wanted to give them a surprise.
I think it sounds better, no?
I see a while cooked the
Why? What is
dinner while Leah and Mia decorated the house. And
sorry, market, please. Oh, sorry, find it. So yes, this is not correct. No, this should be another, like Daniel mentioned, it could be they wanted
to
to
keep
give
them,
you,
Okay.
to give them a surprise, no? You wanted to say that like in Spanish phrase or maybe expression, no? Querían llegar como
Yes.
that's fine, no? Sometimes we have to pay attention to the verb because come is related with movement, but it's not necessarily what you wanted to say. No, the main thing was surprise. But then everything else looks correct. Very, very interesting story. And you use both. When and while, thank you very much. Great job, Larissa. I like your story. All right, maybe we can continue with Daniel, please.
okay. Charkini strip. Carlos, Pablo, and Michael are friends that have planned a trip to Charkini La Paz. It was in July 2021. At the end, everything was good, but during the trip, they had some problems. The day of the flight, they arrived late to the airport, so when they came to the ticket office, the airplane was ready to take off. So yes, they lost the flight. But fortunately, they got another flight 4 hours later. While Pablo and Carlos were sleeping, Michael took the opportunity to read a book. After that, they arrived to La Paz and went to the hotel for an early departure to Charquini the next day. So they had more problems there because they didn't know that Charquini is one of the highest places in Bolivia. So while some guys got headaches, the other ones vomited by the pressure. So in the end, it was a good trip and they took a lot of beautiful pictures.
Excellent, very good, great job. So it's like a very informal story, right? You're using phrases. It could be so, yes, like, yes, they lost the flight, no? And here, usually, when you're describing something that is going the other way, the next step, but it could be, but they had more problems because you're describing maybe something that is going the other way there. No, it's a way to put it. I don't know, it's marking. Anyways. Oh, and by the pressure of the what? By the pressure of the other ones vomited by the pressure of the city or the highness, no?
Highness.
Due, yes. The other ones vomited due, not due to the pressure of the city. Due is like debido a, no?
Oh, okay.
Or because it could also be, no, it's a result, a consequence of they got sick, right? They vomited. And then the sentences here in Larissa's, when they arrive at their grandparents' house, then it's describing something else. No, it's just simply the absence of people there. No, there was no one there. So there is the other event in past. No, there was no one. There was no one house, there was no. Okay. Then while it's to describe two things that happen at the same time, no? And the other sister cooked the dinner while Lee and Mia decorated the house. So no, two things at the same time. Then while Pablo and Carlos were sleeping, Michael took the opportunity to read a book. So two things again linked, two ideas that goes together, right? One after the other one. And while it's the same, while some guys got headaches, other ones vomited due to. So again, two activities related to the past. No, and okay, great job, guys. Very good. So lastly, any questions maybe that, or maybe any problems that maybe you had while you were writing or typing?
Mm,
Any questions that you had?
no, teacher. Now it looks a little bit easy to remember how
Yeah,
to
right?
use this.
Yeah. So it's not really difficult, and it's just practice sometimes to remember and maybe use this faster while you are speaking, no? Because you have to be quick. No, you are describing something that happened in the past. So if you are thinking about two things that happen at the same time, well, obviously while helps you to describe these two things, two ideas, two events, no? And when maybe something else happened, then something else describe or interrupt, no? But let's do this last exercise in these last minutes. This one is going to make you think too, because I already shared the link on the chat, and if you can, Larissa, please share it. If you cannot, maybe Daniel. But we have like just a basic sentence, no? For example, I was studying English, and then a second event, my brother came in. So the object here is to try to describe the same tense using when and while. So for example, I was studying something in progress. Then when my brother came in, right? Then I'm using when. And while I have to describe the second thing that happened, my brother came in while I was studying, no? Or it could be the other way around, no? While I was studying, my brother came in. Now, usually while comes with continuous tense, and when is introducing the past tense, the simple past event. So yeah, any questions? We have some sentences. Probably we're going to have enough time to finish, maybe just that part. The second part is a little bit easier, but this part is not, it's going to make you think. With this one, you're going to understand completely. All right. So maybe Daniel, could you share your or maybe Larissa, sorry. Can you share this and help us with this exercise?
Okay, I will start.
Yes, you have the link on the chat, and you can open it, please. So we're going to type. Did you see it? It's the one that I just shared. It's in the chat. Click on it, and please share.
I am sharing now.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Now I can see.
Pamela was preparing dinner. She cut her finger.
She cut her finger.
Cut her finger. Okay.
Wait. How can we do it? When?
When Pamela was preparing dinner, she cut her finger.
Excellent. And how can we use while?
Pamela cut her finger while He was preparing dinner.
Excellent. Great job. Very good, Larissa. All right, Daniel, your turn.
Hmm. Jason was playing in the garden when he found no, sorry. When Jason was playing in the garden, he found a snake. I think both are correct.
Both are correct. Yes, both ways are correct. The only difference is that we have to put a comma, right? To separate one idea and the other one. Great.
Uh, Jason was playing in the garden while he found a snake. I'm not sure. Will be the same. While Jason was playing in the garden, he found a snake.
Mhm. Yes, it's also correct.
Can you repeat, please?
While the same as above.
Okay.
While Jason was playing in the garden, he found a snake.
Mhm. Comma, he found the snake. Great, very good. Number 4.
My father was writing a letter. The light went off.
Mhm.
And when my father was writing a letter, the light went off.
Great. Number 4, please. Next. While.
While my father was writing a letter,
The baby was sleeping when the
Great.
telephone rang. The telephone rang while the baby was sleeping.
Very good.
Right. It is. Yeah.
Good job, guys. Number 6, please.
my mom was having a shower. Mm, my father by phone when my mom.
For when is usually easier to recognize the event that is interrupting. So it's easier this. No? My mom was having a shower when my father arrived. So there is something in progress, and then you have a second event which is interrupting, and usually that event should go with when. Correct. Very good.
Uh,
Very good. Could you read the second sentence, please, Larissa?
My father arrived home while my mom was having a shower.
Excellent. I think Daniel is out for a moment. Maybe you can try the next one.
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, that's
I saw my neighbor when I was buying some bread.
right.
Well, while I was buying some bread, I saw my neighbor.
Right. Number 8.
And the teacher was explaining the lesson when the door opened.
She was explaining the lesson.
Oh, the door opened when the teacher was explaining the lesson.
It's correct. How you mentioned it, it's fine. All right.
The same.
Very good. Very good. All right. So I can send, if you want to, this link to the chat, to the group's WhatsApp group, because there are a little more exercises in case that you would like to practice, guys, and a little video down there. But I think it's quite clear, no? In case that you would like to see a bit more, I will share it. And well, that's basically today's lesson. We practice a lot of past tense this week. And if I'm not wrong, I think I just remember I forgot to give you more time for this assignments and quizzes, right? Yeah, I just realized that, so sorry. All right, I will give you time until tomorrow if that's okay, so you can work whenever you can. So, Iwan. Okay, I'm launching today's polls and I will assign or reassign the, it's just for the first unit, right?
Yes, teacher.
You need more time. All right, great. So I'll give
And
you
the
until
quiz as well.
tomorrow, guys, in the quiz. Okay, yes, I apologize. I totally forgot, but I will reassign. I'll give you more time until tomorrow midnight. So that's all, guys, for today's class. Have a great day and or great weekend, and see you on Monday. Bye, guys.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.